Hey, how's it? Travis Speck here. Today, we're going to project the income and expenses of a short-term vacation rentable condo here in central Kihei. Today, we're going to do an example of what I call a budget unit. It's not really quite in everyone's budget at a price point of $625,000 for a one-bed, one-bath investment condo, but it is one of the least costly, fee-simple units that allow for vacation rentals here in Maui. You may have noticed the pricing has increased these last couple years. It could be due to the county putting a moratorium on any new transient accommodation style condos or short-term rental condos. So there's going to be scarcity, and just in general, the occupancy rates and nightly rates have just been at soaring record highs here. So when you have high income producing units, it's just going to drive these purchase prices or list prices up. So let's take a look at what we're going to project for income and expenses today here at Kalama Terrace, and maybe this is a great video for you to just have a baseline for looking at other similar priced units, or just in general, if you're looking for a one bed, one bath here in Maui, this is a great foundation for you to start. All right, here we have Kalama Terrace. This is a 3-level building. Unit 206 is on the second level. There are a total of 61 units throughout the complex and a total of 2 buildings, Building L and Building P. So now let's take a quick scan through the photos and just get a sense of the condition and what the view is like from the lanai. All right, so pretty decorative so far. It's nice to inherit some good furnishings. Here we have a wall unit AC. And the kitchen is going to be a little bit on the smaller side here in Kalama Terrace for these one beds. Even the 2 beds are actually on the smaller side as well. Here we have a gas stove. So the unique thing about Kalama Terrace is that the gas and electric is included in the maintenance fee. So we're going to factor that in towards the end here when we fill out our Excel sheet. It's not always that common for those to be included. So it's good to keep that a mental note of that while you're searching for your short-term rental. Nice bathroom, tiled shower, and here we have the bedroom. I like how they put the windows towards the top. Again, smooth ceilings versus the popcorn. Right. Just move along here. Here we go. Yeah, the lanai is not bad. I like to look at the greenery. I like to look at the ocean. Then I'd like to look at the greenery over pavement. This is a budget unit, so we're not going to have an ocean view, but we are also not going to rent this out for ocean view pricing. But so this isn't bad. This is pretty pleasant. I know we have some dead trees, and we can ask about those. I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, so the common area and the gas grills, and then we have the pool. So no spa in Kalama Terrace, and there are some drone shots here. So we have Charlie Young Beach, which is a great sandy beach, great for families. Waves are pretty moderate to low. Kid-friendly for the most part. We do have those, once-a-year storms that could get pretty crazy. Here we go. We have a little green path here, so this is a nice little walking area. Further up, we have the Kihei Cove. This is a great beginner surf spot, so it's a pretty good attraction for vacationers. So, if someone's going to come to Hawaii, the first thing to think of is surfing, and if they're going to try out surfing, being close to your amenities and so forth. So we got beach, we got the cove, surf spot, and then we further up out of this photo, but further up we have lots of shops and restaurants and bars. So we have a little bit of nightlife. Probably the most amount of nightlife is the triangle, which is a little further up here. So you're in a really centralized location, and you're you have a little bit of everything, which is nice. Yep, so L building is pushed back off of South Kihei Road, so you're not going to have too much traffic noise because you are pushed back. You're going to walk a little further to the sandy beach, so that's the trade-off. So let's plug these numbers into the Excel sheet and see what this thing can produce and see what your costs are. How do we figure out the income? It's pretty simple. We're going to reach out to a third-party short-term rental management company. In this case, we're going to use My Perfect Stays. These guys do a great job at short-term rentals. They don't do long-term rentals. They don't do real estate sales. They do one thing, and they do it very well, which is short-term rentals. All right, here we have the revenue comp report, also known as a pro forma. On the left-hand side, you see the occupancy rate. Right-hand side, you have the total revenue for the year. We use 84% as the average occupancy rate. Right now, I've seen units pushing over 90%. It's great to have these types of years, but we also need to be prepared for these types of years as well, especially if you are an early investor. It's always good to have some reserves. Keep in mind these figures are excluding any sort of cleaning fees, excise taxes, and transient accommodation taxes. We consider those pass-through items. Although you are collecting them from the guest, you are also paying them out right to the county and your cleaners. So these figures are excluding any of those items. So let's scroll down to see the comps and see how My Perfect Stays came up with this data. And here we have 4 comps. I did notice this one seems to be an outlier. I looked up this unit. These are live links here. And this is nothing that justifies, $100 difference between the rest of these 3. So we're going to base our income and expenses off of these 3 comps. And I just don't want to include this outlier here. So let's plug these figures into our Excel sheet. I'm going to snip it here. And then let's copy and paste that. Let's put that here. So the jump from screen to screen. Beautiful. All right, let's pop in the comps, 245 and 241. Here we have the average nightly rate. And we can toggle this if we wanted to play around with the occupancy rate. But in this case, let's just keep it to 299, which gets you about 84% occupancy for the year. First line, gross income. Second line is the short-term management fee. 25% is the going rate. If you're the type of buyer that just needs help here on the island, here on the mainland, West Coast, most likely, and you are looking to have a management company, the going rate is 25%. You'll get a monthly statement. Most of your problems go away. Nothing's perfect, right, in this world. But all those late night calls, my hot water heat's leaking, I'm locked out of my condo, it's 2 a.m. West Coast time, or any, East Coast time, it's 4 a.m., whatever it is, if you need a service company, this is the going rate. There are some other companies out there that are using tech to maybe try to lower that rate. Go for it. I'm all about the new stuff, especially tech stuff. But right now we're going to use 25% as the average management fee. Next line we have our PITI, principal, interest, insurance, taxes, and your condo fee. Most people are putting down that 30% so that you can get an adjustable rate mortgage, which could bring it around 6.25%. So let's see what that looks like on a off the purchase price. So most, however you search, most websites are going to have a mortgage calculator. Let's take a quick look here. 30% down. List price, 30% at 6.25. And this is nice, but this doesn't really help us in this case because the electric cost is included in our HOA fee. And homeowners insurance, I'm using this as a unit insurance or a HO6 policy, which is about $400 a year, which breaks down to about $33 a month. And of course, you have your principal and interest and then your real estate property taxes. So that looks about right. Let's just pop in 3907 times 12. We're just doing this on an annual basis. 4684. 46,884, excuse me. So that's your principal and interest. That's your real estate taxes. Your unit insurance, we're going to wipe out. We included that in this figure. And then your condo fee was $830, which was also included in this figure. An electric cost, which is also included in this figure, which is great. That's not always the case. So if you are running numbers in other complexes, you could use these figures as average. You can always overestimate. Maybe you want to adjust for $4,000 in electric for maybe a 2-bed, 2-bath. You guys can play around with that. Here we have the internet fee that is not included in the condo fee. So we are going to estimate about $60 a month for Spectrum, and that brings down to $720 per year. And I like to just throw in $1,000 because why not? It's easy to spend $1,000 here and there. Fridge, hot water tank. Obviously that's going to cost maybe a little bit more than that, but not every year. Hopefully those things are coming along. But let's just estimate $1,000 for a rainy day fund. And voila, that's what you're left over. These things are not cash cows, but if you're here to supplement your vacation costs, on an average basis, you could come up with some proceeds at the end of the year. And if you have a good year like we are having now, you might be upwards of the 90% occupancy and see figures like this. And on a low end, 75%, you're running pretty lean here, but still above water. You have to keep in mind if this is, what this looks like when we're at 70%, now we're in the hole. So on the left-hand side, I have included a couple notes here. So your water is always included here in Maui County. It's part of the association costs or association fees. Your master insurance policy is also included in most of your condo fees. I haven't come across a building that does not have a master insurance policy. And then your exterior and common elements, such as your roofs, pools, exterior maintenance, that is included in your condo fee. Sometimes included is your electric, and sometimes included is your internet and cable. In these cases, electric was included, but that's not typically the case. I'd say it's more likely to have to pay your own electric and internet. And then again here, we have pass-through expenses. We have your TAT, transient accommodation tax, and your GET excise tax. And I just want to pop in here your cleaning fees. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. The point of this video is to help bridge the gap between people that have interest in purchasing here and actually get them across the finish line. Help show your support by liking and subscribing. I can also run any numbers on a specific unit if you drop the address or the MLS number in the comment section below. Happy to do that as well. Aloha.